Don, you said after Kentucky that you didn't really want to drink the Kool-Aid yet. Did the second and fourth quarters kind of reinforce that, how the game was in hand and they came storming back? Exactly.
I mean, we got a good team, but we're not there yet. We're able to put teams away, and if you fortunate enough to build a big lead, you should be able to finish them off. But it's hard against a team like Arkansas, especially if you don't stay locked in. I mean, they got transition threes in the fourth quarter that got them back in the game and made it interesting.
Obviously, Aaliyah's performance very impressive tonight. I guess from a fan's perspective, they might just want to say she's bigger than everyone else. But what else goes into something like a dominating performance like that?
I mean, she may be bigger than everyone else, but that doesn't mean the ball has to fall into her hands. She's got to go get it, and she did that for us tonight. I mean, Aaliyah's active. She's not just standing around. She's in the game. She has a great understanding of the game. I look at it and I'm like, she just had 19. She could have had 40 easily. So she's got some things that she needs to work on. But for right now, I mean, she's rebounding the basketball. She's scoring when we're asking her to score. She's smart. I mean, she's a competitor, and she plays like she wants to win every game.
Dawn, I think Kiki had the assignment on Dungy first, and Dungy started something like 0 for 11. Didn't have a field goal till the third quarter. How much of that was Kiki? How much of that was maybe Dungy just being off, or how much of that was maybe phantom pressure?
You know, when this matchup is a hard matchup because Dungy really isn't a post player. So, you know, in talking to Fred, because Fred had the scout, we're like, you know, who do we put Kiki on? And then he was like, you know, maybe we need to put her on toll-free, maybe we need to put her on one of the guards. And I was like, nah, we gonna put Kiki on her. And that was probably the best decision to make because you don't want to play around it. You know, Kiki took the challenge back, what's today, Tuesday when we got together. She's like, you know, let's go. And that's the reaction that we wanted to get out of her in taking this challenge on. And I thought she did a great job of just staying in front of her and being long and making it hard and funneling her into our help that was in the paint.
And on 3 games at above 90 points. I mean, is that something you expected coming into this year? Can you remember a last stretch where you scored 90 points in a row in 3 SEC games?
If you read the game notes, it's happened since 2002 and 3.
I wasn't around then. No, I didn't anticipate it, you know, and I didn't also anticipate giving up 82 and we gave up 79, I think, 72. I don't know what it was. So, I mean, I'm glad we're able to score the basketball. It does give you a shot at winning basketball games because, you know, a lot of offenses are a lot better than, you know, defenses that you could put out there. So I'm happy that we're spreading around. We got 4 people in double figures. We rebounded the heck out of the basketball. I mean, that was probably the key thing when it comes to this particular game because if they get, you know, if they get 10 more possessions, they could make it really interesting.
Dawn, what was the source of the offensive struggles in the second and the fourth?
Bad shots. I thought fatigue played a part. I think both teams were really fatigued. One time we slowed the ball down, and I just really looked at both teams, and they were just, tongues were hanging out, and I was like, oh, y'all are tired, huh? Everybody's tired. And then one of their players looked at me and laughed. But they were really tired. It was a fast-paced game, and I thought that during that time is the pace of Arkansas. And that's why we lost some assignments in transition, and they got back in the game.
Coach, what's the message to the younger players on this team after a game like that? What are you doing in practice to make sure something like that doesn't happen again, where you let a tean back in the game after you put them at arm's length for so long?
Well, we're going to watch it, and we're going to see where we had some lapses. I mean, as much as you say it, fatigue sets in, and it's hard. I mean, you got to be mentally stronger than your fatigue, and that's really hard for some young players. It's hard for older players. You know, I think we just need to make sure that we are aware of those situations and maybe happen once, but they can't snowball into like 3 plays. We gave up, 3 unanswered 3-pointers. So we'll watch it, and hopefully they'll familiarize themselves. And it may not necessarily be threes. It could be just, plays in which we need to get stops.
So then just kind of touching on that again, is that something that just really comes with game reps, or is this something that, with the fatigue you mentioned, is that something that can be fixed in practice, or is this something more that you just need these guys to get more game minutes and get that experience?
It's going to have to come in games. I mean, we don't really fatigue them a whole lot to actually simulate that situation. So it's going to have to come in game situations. It's going to have to come in watching film if we can't simulate that in a practice. But you make this team aware of certain things, and they have a really good memory when it comes to just understanding, and recognizing it.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you all.
Thank you.